God says He wants you to understand something that will change everything you thought you knew. God wants you to be with this person. The name will shock you. Open this immediately before it's too late. Some things in life cannot be ignored, and this is one of them. There are moments when God speaks gently to your heart, nudging you towards something or someone that seems unexpected. You may have thought you missed your chance, or that life had already decided what your path should look like, but God's plans are never limited by time, mistakes, or past seasons. He is always working behind the scenes, aligning hearts, healing brokenness, and guiding souls back together in ways only He can. Type 999 if you agree. You may have spent years carrying questions that have weighed you down about love, about purpose, about whether God still sees your tears and hears your prayers. You felt the silence in your spirit and wondered if God was still guiding your steps. But here's what you need to hold on to right now. God has never looked away from you, not for 1 second. His eyes have followed you through every joy, every sorrow, every moment of quiet longing. There is someone out there, someone you may already know, someone you might have crossed paths with long ago, or someone entirely unexpected who is a part of your story because God wrote it that way. You may not understand why certain people come into your life at specific times, or why others leave. You may have cried out in confusion, wondering why love didn't work out when you thought it would. But God sees the whole picture, and sometimes He holds things back because He's still preparing both hearts for something far greater than either can imagine alone. God is not just interested in fixing what's broken or mending what's been torn apart. He is a God of complete restoration. That means He can take 2 lives, each scarred by disappointment and pain, and gently shape them into something beautiful together. Maybe you've been praying for a sign, asking for direction. Maybe you've even given up, thinking it's too late for love to come again. But God's timing is never off, and His promises never return empty. There's a reason your heart is still soft, even after everything. There's a reason you haven't stopped believing in the quiet parts of your soul. That's because God planted something deep within you that still responds to His voice. It's that gentle pull towards something more, something true, something that feels like home. You were made to love, and to be loved with purity, grace, and a spiritual bond that goes beyond anything this world can offer. Type 777 if you trust in God. This person God is leading you toward is not someone to complete you, but someone to walk beside you as you grow deeper in Him. It's someone who will understand your silences, your laughter, and your faith. Someone who doesn't just love the way you look or the things you do, but sees the light in your soul and wants to keep it burning strong. Someone who will pray with you, fight for you, and hold your hand through both the storms and the sunrises. God never puts 2 people together without purpose. His designs are always soaked in meaning, and even the delays, the detours, the heartaches, they all have a role in shaping the kind of love He's preparing. This kind of love won't be perfect, but it will be patient. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it, because it's rooted in something eternal, not just in feelings that change with the wind. Don't rush what God is still unfolding. You don't have to chase or beg for something meant for you. The right person will not be confused about your worth. They won't play with your heart because they'll understand that you belong to God first, and because of that, they'll treat you with a kind of care that only comes from walking closely with Him. You may be wondering when it will happen or how. But God isn't asking you to figure it all out. He's asking you to trust Him in the waiting, to believe that He is working, even when you feel forgotten. To keep praying, not because you're trying to earn His blessing, but because prayer keeps your heart aligned with His. He wants you to rest in knowing that what's meant for you will find you not in a moment of striving, but in a moment of peace. And when that moment comes, you'll know. You'll feel a stillness in your spirit, a quiet confirmation that you are where you're meant to be, with who you're meant to be with. You'll see God's fingerprints all over the connection, from the smallest detail to the biggest leap of faith. And you'll look back and understand why it took this long, why the road was hard, why the tears had to fall. Because it all led here, to the place where His promise meets your heart. Every step you've taken, every heartbreak you've endured, every moment of loneliness you've faced, none of it has been wasted. In fact, it has all been preparing you for something holy, something so rooted in grace that it won't feel like the love you've known before. It will feel like healing, like safety, like home. Type 2121 if you believe. Sometimes, what God is doing doesn't make sense to the natural mind. You might look at your current situation and feel like nothing is changing. Maybe you've waited for years, prayed countless prayers, and poured your heart out asking when the right person would finally appear. Or maybe someone was already in your life, but it all fell apart when you least expected it. That confusion, that ache, the deep sense of why can feel overwhelming, but God hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't turned His face away. He is still guiding, still speaking, still preparing. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow, wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. The person God has for you might not look like what you pictured. They may not fit the mold your past built in your mind. But they will carry a peace that calms your anxious thoughts and a gentleness that reflects the love of Jesus. They will speak life into the dreams you thought were lost. They will remind you that love doesn't have to be earned through fear, silence, or compromise. This is someone God will use not only to love you well, but to bring you closer to Him. There's a beauty in waiting when you know who you're waiting with. God doesn't ask us to wait to punish us. He asks us to wait because He knows what He's preparing is greater than what we would settle for in our impatience. The love He brings is sacred. It's not built on the rush of emotions, but on the strength of spiritual foundation. And to build something that lasting, He takes His time. You may feel like you're falling behind while others are stepping into their promises. You may look around and wonder why everyone else seems to be finding love, moving forward, building lives, and you're still in the hallway, waiting for the door to open. But what if that door is opening soon? What if the delay wasn't denial, but divine protection? What if God was still working on the heart of the person He's bringing you to, just like He's been working on yours? Type 555 if you trust Jesus. There are people who walk into our lives for a season, and then there are those who are meant to stay. God knows the difference. And sometimes He will remove someone who was only supposed to teach you a lesson, so that the one He's chosen can come without confusion. Don't mourn the closed doors too long. Don't keep replaying what could have been or why it didn't work. God doesn't waste anything, but He also doesn't ask you to keep holding on to what He's already released you from. You might not know this person yet, or you might have already met them and walked away thinking it was just a passing moment. But when God moves, He can reignite what felt like it had faded. He can bring someone back into your life in a way that's fresh and holy, after both of you have been refined. He can restore connections that once seemed broken beyond repair, and He can also introduce you to someone entirely new, someone who feels like a reflection of God's promises in flesh and bone. This person may not be perfect, and neither will you, but together your hearts will be aligned in purpose, in grace, and in pursuit of God. You'll pray together when things feel uncertain. You'll laugh together when joy overflows. You'll carry each other when life gets heavy, and most importantly, you'll remind each other that God is always the center. That's the kind of love that grows roots. That's the kind of love God blesses not just for romance, but for kingdom purpose. You may feel like you're still not ready, like you need to fix a few more things in your life, become a little more whole, before you're worthy of this kind of love. But God doesn't wait for perfection, He moves in surrender. He doesn't bless performance, He blesses hearts that are willing. You don't need to become someone else to be loved well. You simply need to walk forward in faith, trusting that who you are, in Christ, is already enough. Every tear you've cried over love that didn't last, God caught them. Every night you felt alone, wondering if anyone would ever see the depth of your heart, God was there. Every prayer you whispered when no one else was around, God heard, and He hasn't ignored a single one. You may not see it yet, but heaven is already moving on your behalf. The right person, the one God chooses for you, is not a maybe. They are a promise, and God keeps His promises. So, keep your heart soft, keep your hope alive, keep your hands open to receive. Don't rush the process, and don't shrink your faith. Even when it feels quiet, even when it looks like nothing is happening, trust that God is orchestrating something far more beautiful than you could ever script on your own. When the time is right, when both hearts are ready, it will happen. Not by accident, but by divine appointment. They'll see you, truly see you, and love you not just for who you are today, but for who you've fought to become. And you'll know without question that it was God who brought them. Not a coincidence, not just timing, but destiny. This person may not arrive in the way you expect, nor in the moment you feel most prepared, but when they come, it will feel like the right piece finally settling into place after seasons of waiting, hoping, and learning to trust again. Type 555 if you believe God is preparing someone for you. There's a kind of stillness that comes before something sacred is revealed, a quietness in the heart that whispers, wait, watch, trust. In that quiet, God works the deepest. He clears away the noise of past confusion. He softens the places that once felt hardened by disappointment. He tenderly restores what was broken, so that your heart is ready not just to receive love, but to give it from a place of peace. You've walked through valleys where your faith was the only light left, but even in that darkness, God was forming something within you: strength, compassion, patience, and clarity. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. This next chapter isn't about forcing things or chasing what doesn't stay. It's about alignment. When two people have been walking with God separately, healing through their own paths and finding their strength in Him alone, something powerful happens when He finally allows those paths to meet. There is no need for pretense, no need to hide wounds or pretend perfection. There is only grace, honesty, and the quiet awareness that something holy is taking root. You won't have to question whether this person values you, because their actions will speak clearly. You won't have to shrink yourself to be understood, because they will listen deeply. You won't feel like you're in competition with their past or their future, because they'll choose you fully. That is what it feels like when love is born from God's timing. It doesn't create anxiety, it calms it. It doesn't feed fear, it silences it. It doesn't run at the first sign of trouble. It stays and prays and builds. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. You may have experienced the kind of love that leaves pieces of you scattered behind, love that asked too much and gave too little, love that only saw your surface and never the soul beneath. You may have wondered if real, godly love even exists anymore, but let this settle in your spirit. God doesn't tease His children with hope. He doesn't whisper promises that He does not intend to fulfill. If He has placed the desire in your heart for a love that honors Him, then He has already made a way for it. This person will see your scars and not flinch. They'll understand that your journey hasn't been perfect and won't demand that it be. Instead, they will celebrate the way you fought to hold on to your faith, even when life gave you reasons to let go. They will admire your strength but offer comfort when you're tired of being strong. They will pray with you, not just for you. They will know the value of your heart, not because of anything flashy or loud, but because they've been listening to God, and He has gently turned their attention toward you. And you too will see them with new eyes. You won't be searching for someone to fix you or fill you, because you've already found your fullness in Christ. You'll be able to love them not out of need, but out of overflow. Your soul will recognize theirs not because they check a list, but because their spirit carries peace, humility, and the same longing to walk in God's purpose. You'll build something sacred together, not just a romance, but a friendship, a ministry, a life wrapped in God's light. The world will try to distract you, telling you that you have to settle, that this kind of love is rare or unrealistic. But you're not walking by the world's standards, you're walking by faith. You're trusting the one who created hearts to know exactly how to knit two of them together. It may not look flashy, and it may not follow the same timeline as everyone else, but when it arrives, it will feel right, quietly right, peacefully right, God right. Until then, don't close your heart. Don't give up because of what didn't work before. What was lost is not greater than what God is about to give. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. The story God is writing for you is unique, and it's being written with your soul in mind. Keep praying for your future spouse, not just for them to find you, but for their strength, their faith, their healing. Pray that wherever they are, they're walking with God, learning to love Him deeper every day, just like you are. When the connection finally comes, it will be more than just emotional or romantic. It will feel like a calling. Like your individual paths have suddenly become one, not by accident, but by the hand of a God who never makes mistakes. You'll look back and realize that every delay had purpose. Every detour was mercy. Every tear was planting something holy. And you'll thank God not just for the person, but for the journey that brought you to them. There will be moments when you'll both laugh at how perfectly your stories align, even with all the twists and turns. You'll pray together for what's ahead, but you'll also thank God for what's behind, for the pain that shaped you, the patience that matured you, and the grace that brought you both to this beautiful meeting place. Together, your love will not only bless your own lives, but serve as a testimony to others who are still waiting, still believing, still hoping. So, take a deep breath and release every anxious thought. Let God continue preparing your heart while He prepares theirs. Stay faithful, stay open, stay kind. Because when it's time, and it will be time, the love that arrives will carry heaven's fingerprints all over it. But behind the silence, God is moving. He is shifting things, restoring what was once broken, and preparing hearts to collide at exactly the right moment, in exactly the right way. Type 1919 to receive miracles in your life. Maybe you've loved before, and it ended with more questions than answers. Maybe you gave your heart to someone who didn't know how to hold it. Maybe you forgave too many times, hoping love would change them. Or maybe the person walked away when you needed them most, and it left you doubting your worth and second-guessing what love should even feel like. God knows. He knows every tear you cried in secret. He knows the ache you carried in the quiet. He knows the times you smiled in front of others, even when your soul was tired. But He also knows the person He is preparing for you. And they're not just anyone. They are someone who has also walked through fire, who has also been shaped by grace, who has also surrendered their will to God and asked Him to prepare them for something real. This person won't come into your life to play games or feed your insecurities. They'll come to build something lasting. They'll come to nurture something holy. They'll come because God sent them, and they'll stay because they've prayed for you too. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: cleared debts, growing savings, Sudden opportunities speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. You see, love that is built on God doesn't just survive the storms, it finds strength in them. This person won't run when things get hard. They won't see your imperfections as burdens. They won't make you feel like you have to perform or pretend to be loved. Instead, they'll walk with you in truth, with compassion, and with a heart that longs to reflect the same kind of unconditional love Christ gives. They will not complete you, only God can do that, but they will complement you in ways that bring out the very best in your spirit. Their love will feel like prayer answered, not rushed, not forced, but perfectly placed. You won't have to beg for their attention, because their heart will already be looking in your direction. You won't have to guess what they feel, because God will give you both peace that silences the doubt. It won't be built on momentary emotion, but on consistent action, gentle understanding, and mutual faith. That is what God-blessed love looks like. Not just passion, but purpose. Not just attraction, but alignment. You will know them by their fruit. They'll carry peace into the room. They'll speak words that lift, not break. They'll protect your heart like something sacred, not something casual. And you will feel God in the way they love you, not perfectly, but purely. And you will love them in return, not because they fill a void, but because your heart will recognize what God has been shaping all this time. Type yes to affirm that you are ready for the love God is preparing. Don't lose hope just because the wait feels long. God is not punishing you, He's preparing you. He's making sure that when this person enters your life, you're not still bleeding from wounds that someone else caused. He wants you to meet them whole, healed, and full of clarity, not confusion. He's not asking you to be perfect, but to be present with Him in prayer, in growth, and in trust. You don't have to look for this person in every face you see. You don't have to chase signs or force connections that don't feel right. The right one won't leave you wondering. They'll bring peace, not pressure. They'll pray with you, not play with you. They'll lead with kindness, not control. Because this person will be sent by God, and they will know how to love you from a place of surrender, not selfishness. While you wait, use this time wisely. Build your relationship with God. Let Him fill your soul so completely that when love does arrive, it's not coming to fix something, but to join something already flourishing. Let God heal what others broke. Let Him whisper truth where lies once lived. Let Him remind you that you are worthy, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. When you start seeing yourself the way He sees you, you'll never again settle for less than what He has promised. This love will not distract you from your purpose. It will help you walk in it. It will not pull you away from God, it will bring you closer to Him. You will pray over each other. You will serve together. You will support each other's growth. And even in moments of disagreement, love will remain the anchor. Because love that's born of God doesn't run when things get hard, it stays, it listens, it chooses grace. You won't have to be afraid to open your heart again, because this time, it will be in God's hands. And when your heart is in His hands, no one can mishandle it. You'll begin to see that the waiting wasn't empty, it was full of purpose. Every lonely night, every unanswered question, every step forward after a setback, it was all building you into someone ready to receive and nurture something sacred. And when you look into the eyes of the person He brings, you'll know. Not because of sparks or butterflies, but because of peace. Because of the stillness that says, I'm safe here. Because of the quiet confirmation in your soul that says, God brought me here, and He's not wrong. So keep walking, keep believing. Keep your heart open and your spirit grounded. God has not forgotten you. And when it's time, love will walk through the door with His blessing wrapped around it. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to perform for it. You simply have to be ready to receive it when it arrives and let God do the placing. Type 666 if you trust Jesus to write your love story. Right now it may seem like the journey has been long. You've walked through days where your heart carried a quiet ache, where you smiled on the outside while feeling forgotten on the inside. There were moments when you watched others fall in love, get married, build families, and you whispered to God, "When will it be my turn?" You've stayed faithful, even when it was hard. You've prayed, even when it felt like heaven was silent. And through it all, God was watching, listening, and working. The person He has chosen for you is not delayed. They are not lost. They are not hidden by accident. They are being formed, just like you are. They are walking through their own seasons of learning, stretching, and surrender. Their heart is being softened in all the right places. Their character is being deepened. Their faith is being refined. God is working on both of you, even if you don't yet know their name or face. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brainwave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. And when it is time, you won't have to guess. The connection won't come with confusion or fear. It will come with clarity. You won't need to question whether they care. You won't have to explain your value to them. They will already recognize the light in you because they've been walking in the same light too. God never writes one-sided stories. The love He blesses is mutual, strong, and rooted in more than emotion. It is grounded in purpose and eternal perspective. Type 222 if you believe your season is changing. The beautiful truth is, the one God has for you won't see you as too much or not enough. They won't love only the parts of you that are easy to love. They'll see your whole story, the cracks, the healing, the strength that grew out of pain, and they'll still stay. Not out of obligation, but out of a deep desire to walk with you through every chapter ahead. They'll honor your heart, and their love will make room for both your dreams and your scars. This person won't be perfect, and neither will you. There will be days of struggle, moments of doubt, and times where growth is needed. But you'll face those seasons together, hand in hand, side by side, with grace leading the way. You'll pray through the hard days. You'll laugh through the light ones. You'll keep God at the center, not just in theory, but in practice. And that kind of love, the kind that is centered in Christ, never crumbles under pressure. It gets stronger. There's something sacred about loving someone who knows what it means to wait on God. They've felt the stillness of nights filled with prayer. They've cried tears of surrender, asking for guidance, healing, and direction. They've let go of relationships that weren't God's best, even when their heart wanted to hold on. They've chosen to trust God more than their own timeline. So when they finally find you, they won't take your heart lightly. They'll handle it with honor because they know what it cost you to keep it pure. While the world tells you to settle for what's quick, loud, and fleeting, God is asking you to trust what's quiet, steady, and eternal. While the world rushes into relationships based on chemistry alone, God builds love slowly on friendship, respect, and deep spiritual alignment. And though it may take longer, what God builds cannot be shaken. It does not collapse in storms. It stands tall because its foundation is holy. So, if your heart feels tired, let this be your reminder. God sees you. He knows how long you've waited. He knows the loneliness you've endured. And He knows how deeply you long to love and be loved in return. But He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't overlooked your prayers. He's simply aligning your life for something greater than you imagined. And it's going to be worth every moment you held on, every time you chose faith over fear. Your future with this person will be filled with more than love. It will be filled with purpose. Together you'll reflect the beauty of what happens when two people seek God first and each other second. You'll walk into rooms and carry peace. You'll serve others with joy. You'll raise your children in faith. You'll be a safe place for each other in a world that so often feels uncertain. And it won't be perfect, but it will be blessed. Don't rush God. He knows what He's doing. Let Him continue to shape your heart for the kind of love that won't leave when things get real. Let Him write a story that can't be shaken by the storms of life. Keep your eyes fixed on Him, your heart open to His timing, and your soul anchored in hope. Because the love He's preparing for you is not far away. It's on its way, growing stronger every day, just like you. And when you meet, you'll feel it. That stillness, that certainty, that gentle confirmation from the Holy Spirit that says, "This is it. This is what you waited for." It won't be because they're perfect. It will be because they were chosen for you and you for them. What He offers is healing, even if your heart has been bruised by the hands of people who didn't know how to love with care. You may have been carrying disappointment in silence, wondering if love the way you hoped for truly exists, but the answer is yes, and it is coming. Type 1111 if you believe in God's perfect timing. This person God is preparing for you will not interrupt your growth, they will nurture it. You won't feel like you have to dim your light, shrink your dreams, or suppress your faith to be understood. On the contrary, they will encourage you to become everything God has called you to be. They will pray for you in moments when you feel weak. They will celebrate you without comparison. They will believe in you, not just for what you can do, but for who you are at your core, God's child, chosen and deeply loved. Their love will not bring anxiety. It won't cause you to constantly second-guess their words or actions. Instead, it will come with consistency. It will show up again and again, not just when it's easy, but when it matters most. Because this love is being formed by the one who is love Himself. God doesn't create halfway love. He doesn't build foundations on sand. What He is shaping for you is meant to last, to withstand time, and to flourish through seasons of both joy and trial. You may not see the full picture yet. You might still be in the waiting room of God's plan, watching others step into their answered prayers while yours still feel distant. But don't let that shake your faith. What God is doing for you is personal. It's not rushed. It's handcrafted with intention. If it's taking longer, it's because He is working deeper. Deeper in you. Deeper in them. Deeper in the story that will one day become your testimony. Type 2020 to claim your miracle through God's promises. What if the fastest path to wealth was already inside your mind, waiting to be activated by a powerful sound wave? Scientists call it the money attracting frequency, and once awakened, it begins drawing opportunities, success, and financial freedom like never before. Imagine the relief of no more bills and the joy of living your dreams. This is more than an offer. It is a divine turning point. Your destiny is waiting, but only if you choose to move now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on this ancient brainwave today. There's something extraordinary about a relationship rooted in God. It doesn't just bring comfort, it brings transformation. It challenges you to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. It teaches you how to give love without fear and receive it without doubt. It doesn't play games with your heart. It brings clarity, commitment, and compassion. The kind of love God writes into your life won't leave you feeling like you're too much or not enough. It will simply feel right because it will be real. And when this person walks into your life, they won't try to change your story. They'll honor it. They'll understand the pages you've turned and the ones you're still healing from. They'll come with grace in their voice, truth in their eyes, and kindness in their actions. They'll come not just to love you, but to walk with you, to serve God together, to encourage one another in faith, and to stand firm when life gets difficult. You'll notice the difference quickly, not because it will be dramatic or overwhelming, but because it will feel safe. This love won't pull you into chaos. It will draw you into calm. It won't make you feel unsure. It will make you feel seen. It won't be driven by fleeting emotion. It will be driven by God's steady hand. While you wait, continue becoming. You're not standing still, you're preparing. Every time you choose grace over bitterness, every time you pray instead of panic, every time you let go of what's not meant for you, you are stepping closer to what is. Trust that your obedience is not going unnoticed. Trust that your healing is not in vain. Trust that God is not just preparing a person for you, He's preparing you for a life that will carry weight, joy, and impact far beyond what you can imagine. Your heart is precious. It was never meant to be tossed between uncertain hands. It was meant to be held with care by someone who understands the depth of who you are and who you belong to. Someone who recognizes that loving you is not a burden, but a privilege. Someone who doesn't try to control you but chooses to walk beside you, lifting your spirit and loving your soul. You deserve a love that mirrors Christ's selfless, patient, forgiving, and enduring. You deserve a relationship where God is not an afterthought but the foundation. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't just hold your hand, but covers you in prayer, speaks life over you, and walks in the same direction toward heaven. There will be a day where the waiting makes sense, where all the closed doors, the not yet, and even the heartbreaks will finally fall into place. You will look at this person and know deep in your soul that God's hand was in every detail. You will see how the pieces of your life were not random, they were necessary. You were being shaped into someone who could carry the kind of love God gives, and so were they. So, don't stop hoping. Don't stop trusting. Don't stop believing that something beautiful is coming, because it is. And it's not based on your ability to earn it, but on God's desire to bless you with something holy, something healing, something real. You're not too late. You're not forgotten. You're not overlooked. You are seen by the Creator of the universe, and He is not finished with your story. He is still writing. And what's coming next is more beautiful than anything behind you. He hasn't overlooked a single moment. The story He's writing for your life is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Not just about finding someone to love, but someone to walk beside you in faith, in purpose, and in promise. Type Amen if you believe God is preparing something beautiful for you. You've been through enough to know the difference between what is temporary and what is true. You've learned, sometimes the hard way, that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some were lessons, some were reminders. Some were needed to stretch your heart so that when the right person comes, you'll have the strength to love them with wisdom, patience, and grace. And when that person arrives, the one God has chosen, you will not question their place in your life. Their presence will bring stillness, and their love will carry the weight of something holy. They won't come to rescue you, because you're already being held by God. They'll come to partner with you, to walk with you, not ahead or behind, but right beside you. You'll see in their eyes the same faith you've been growing in your heart. Their words will echo the prayers you thought no one heard. Their kindness will feel like home. You won't need to chase their attention, because their heart will already be open to yours, and their commitment will be steady, not because they're perfect, but because they've been prepared. God does not make careless introductions. When He brings two souls together, it is for a reason far deeper than appearance or momentary excitement. He unites hearts for kingdom purpose, for legacy, and for love that reflects His own. That's why the waiting matters. That's why the healing matters. That's why you haven't been walking in circles, you've been walking toward something divine. Type 3333 if you know God is leading you to the right person. This person will see your scars and not try to fix them. They will honor them. They'll see your strength and not be intimidated by it. They will respect it. They'll know that you've walked through fire and come out refined, and they won't see your past as a problem, but as proof that you're someone who doesn't give up easily. And more than anything, they will pray with you when things get hard. They'll stand beside you when life is uncertain. They'll hold your hand when the answers don't come right away. Because they know that love is not built on perfection, it's built on faith, on choice, and on God. After decades in government lockdown, a short 9-word phrase has resurfaced, and those who whisper it daily are experiencing miracles of money and freedom. Researchers say it switches on a hidden abundance circuit in the brain, the same one billionaires unknowingly rely on. It's easy, fast, and astonishingly powerful. Click the link before this rare discovery is censored again. You won't have to explain why your faith matters so much. They'll already understand. You won't need to defend your dreams. They'll encourage them. You won't need to tone down your light. They'll celebrate it, because they've been walking in the same light too. When love is from God, it honors Him first. It gives freely, forgives quickly, listens deeply, and grows patiently. They'll love the way you laugh, the way you worship, the way you quietly give more of yourself than you ever say out loud. They'll notice the small things, the gentle things, the parts of you that others have missed or misunderstood, and more than loving you, they'll commit to loving you well. Not just on the days when life feels beautiful, but on the days when everything feels heavy and uncertain. That is the kind of love God is forming. And when you pray about them, your spirit will feel peace. Not chaos, not confusion, not a gut full of warning signs. There will be a stillness that tells you, this is safe, this is true, this is from God. There will be no chasing, no begging, no doubting where you stand. Just grace, just truth, just love, wrapped in God's perfect timing. Let your heart rest in this. God's not going to let you miss what's meant for you. He won't allow confusion to cloud something that He's ordained. When it's right, it will unfold naturally. You won't have to force anything. You won't have to pretend or guess. You'll just know, because your spirit will feel the calm confirmation of God's hand in the details. You'll look back one day and realize that every no, every not yet, and every tear was preparing you for something you couldn't yet see. You'll thank God for the delays, the closed doors, the lonely seasons, because without them, you wouldn't have grown into the person ready to receive a love like this. You wouldn't have seen how deeply God cares about every part of your heart, and you wouldn't have understood how beautiful it is to trust Him fully. So don't give up now. Don't let the silence trick you into thinking that nothing is happening. God works best in the quiet. He forms the strongest foundations in seasons that feel still. And He reveals His greatest gifts when we least expect it but most need it. He's doing more than you can see. He's moving more than you know. And when the time comes, everything will fall into place without you having to break yourself to make it happen. Hold on to your faith, because it's working even when it feels slow. Keep your heart open, because God is bringing someone into your life who will see it and protect it. Keep becoming the person who loves well, prays deeply, and lives with purpose, because the one He's bringing will be ready for that version of you, not the one you used to be. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where God needs you to be. The love He is writing into your life is still unfolding, and it will be everything He promised and more. He has heard that prayer, not once, not twice, but every single time, and He has not forgotten you. Type 7777 if you believe God is still writing your story. You might have been through seasons where love felt like something distant. You may have trusted people who didn't understand the weight of your heart, who didn't know how to hold it, who didn't see its worth. You gave pieces of yourself away hoping someone would protect them, and instead, you were left gathering the fragments in silence. But even there, in that brokenness, God was near. He wasn't far from your pain. He was close, healing, covering, redeeming, because God never lets our pain be the final chapter. He uses it. He shapes us through it, and He gently lifts us out of the places where we thought our story might end. What looked like a goodbye becomes the beginning of something new. What felt like loss becomes the soil for something holy to grow. And what seemed forgotten is never forgotten in the hands of God. This person God is preparing for you will come not to fix your past, but to build a future with you. They won't ask you to erase your journey. Instead, they'll cherish it. They'll see the beauty in your strength, the grace in your endurance, and the light that never went out even when life tried to dim it. They'll admire your faith, not because it's loud or perfect, but because it's real, because it's been tested and still stands. Type 888 if you believe God's love never fails. You'll know this love is different because it won't just feel good, it will feel right. It won't rush. It won't pull you out of peace. It will settle your spirit. It will bring confirmation, not confusion. It won't just fit into your life, it will bless it. This person won't be threatened by your calling, your vision, or your purpose. Instead, they'll pray over it. They'll speak life into it. And they'll walk with you as you both follow God's direction hand in hand. This love won't be loud in noise, but loud in consistency. You'll feel it in their presence, their patience, their pursuit, not for attention, but for your heart. They'll pursue you not to fill a void, but because God stirred their spirit and told them, that's the one. It will be more than attraction, more than timing. It will be alignment. Because God doesn't bring people together to waste their time, He brings them together to fulfill His purpose through love. You won't feel like you have to beg for space in their life. You won't wonder where you stand or fight for the kind of love that should come freely. You'll feel chosen, not tolerated, seen, not overlooked, protected, not controlled, loved, not used. That's how God works. He doesn't just put two people in the same place. He aligns their hearts, their timing, their paths, and their faith. A secret 9-word prayer, once classified under a forgotten program, is now reshaping lives across the globe. People are seeing unexpected deposits, financial breakthroughs, and emotional peace within days of using it. Scientists confirm it rewires the subconscious to attract prosperity naturally. It takes seconds, but the results can last a lifetime. Don't delay, click the link before it disappears. Until that day comes, God is still working. He's still shaping your heart. He's still clearing away the things that don't belong. He's still softening the places that once became hard to protect yourself. He's still restoring your joy, renewing your confidence, and anchoring your hope. Don't underestimate the value of this season. It's not empty. It's preparation. You're becoming someone who doesn't need love to prove their worth because you've already found it in God. You're learning to walk without fear, to speak without shrinking, to believe without conditions. You're not waiting in weakness, you're waiting in strength. And that strength will be what sustains you when love finally finds you. This kind of love isn't built overnight. It's built in the moments when you choose to trust again. When you let go of the past, even when it still echoes. When you believe God is good, even when your heart still feels fragile. When you love yourself enough to say no to what isn't His best and wait for what is. It's in these moments that you are becoming the person who can carry the kind of love that God is preparing. And when you finally meet, it won't be perfect, but it will be purposeful. There will be things to work through, days when communication is hard, and moments where grace will need to lead. But you'll know you're in the right place, because even in those moments, love will remain, forgiveness will flow, and prayer will always be the place you both return to. This is not a fairy tale. This is faith. This is not about fantasy, it's about foundation. A relationship built on God doesn't require pretending. It allows honesty. It invites healing. It gives space for growth and doesn't run from hard conversations. It stands even when feelings shift. Because it isn't held together by human effort alone, it's held by God. You are not behind. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And when the time is right, you won't have to force anything. It will unfold naturally, divinely, beautifully. You will walk into it not with fear, but with quiet confidence that says, "This is what I prayed for, and this is what God promised." So keep your eyes up, keep your faith strong, keep your heart open. The one God is preparing is being molded with the same care as you. And when you both meet, you'll realize just how worth it the wait really was. Even now, while you wonder if your time will ever come, He is aligning two lives, two paths, and two hearts, yours and the one He has chosen to walk beside you. You may not see it yet, but something beautiful is coming together beneath the surface of your ordinary days. Type 1717 if you believe God's promises are still on the way. It's not always obvious when God is preparing something sacred. It doesn't always come with signs, flashing lights, or grand revelations. Sometimes it comes in the quiet, a tug at your spirit, a softening in your heart, a growing peace where there used to be fear. Sometimes the greatest miracles are wrapped in the ordinary. And sometimes the person God is sending will come when you least expect it, through a moment that feels small but changes everything. This person is not someone who will enter your life and pull you away from who you are. They will see you clearly, your flaws, your dreams, your strengths, and your softness, and still choose to walk with you. They'll admire the way you've held on to hope, even after the world tried to take it from you. They will honor the quiet resilience in your soul. And they'll recognize that your heart is not a place to take lightly, because they've entrusted their own heart to God too. This kind of connection cannot be manufactured by human hands. It isn't found in superficial conversations or temporary infatuations. It's the kind that grows slowly, deeply, with roots that reach beyond appearances and into the spiritual. You won't have to pretend. You won't have to wonder. You won't have to change who you are just to be enough. You'll already be enough, and they'll know it, not because of what you do, but because of who God says you are. Type 4444 if you know God is preparing the right heart for yours. Your waiting has not been in vain. Every moment you've spent choosing faith over fear, every time you trusted God while not understanding the delays, every time you stayed pure in your heart when you could have settled, none of it has gone unseen. God sees the sacrifices you've made. He knows the nights you cried for clarity. He has watched you walk away from relationships that weren't meant to last, even when it hurt. And because of all that, He is preparing someone who will treasure the heart you've guarded so closely. This person will come into your life with intention. They won't toy with your emotions. They won't bring confusion, silence, or doubt. They will come to stay, to grow, and to love you in a way that reflects God's heart. You'll be able to look them in the eyes and see gentleness. You'll feel their patience in the way they handle your story. You'll hear their prayers in the way they speak over your life. And you'll know they were sent, not by chance, but by God. Their presence in your life won't just feel good, it will feel safe. Their words won't just comfort you, they'll align with your spirit. Their actions won't be perfect, but they'll be full of integrity. You'll see them trying, not just for you, but for the both of you. They'll lead with honor and follow with grace. You won't have to beg for communication, for understanding, or for peace, because they'll come with it already in their hands. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. You'll build something together, not out of desperation, but out of devotion. You'll wake up beside someone who makes your soul feel at home, not because they're your everything, but because they know the one who is. You'll serve God together, dream together, fall down together, and rise again together. And in the middle of all of that, you'll grow not just in love for each other, but in love for God. And while the world might celebrate speed, loud affection, and shallow connections, you'll have something different, something eternal, something rooted in prayer, trust, and time. You'll have someone who shows up, not just when it's easy, but when it's necessary. Someone who reminds you that love is not just words, but sacrifice, not just feeling, but faith. You may have thought love passed you by. Maybe you convinced yourself that it was too late, or that your story didn't include the kind of connection your heart quietly hoped for. But God says, nothing is too far gone, nothing is beyond repair, and no dream placed in your spirit by Him is ever empty. The person coming isn't arriving to complete you, they're coming to join you, to walk with you, to laugh with you on ordinary days and cry with you through seasons of struggle. They'll be your teammate, your encourager, your best friend, and your place of comfort when the world feels heavy, and you'll do the same for them. Because God's love doesn't just give, it multiplies. This journey you've walked to get here has mattered. Every tear, every prayer, every lesson. God has used it all to shape the kind of heart that can carry love the way He intended. Selfless, steady, forgiving, and full of grace. You're not behind, you're not too late. You're right on time in God's eyes, and what's ahead is more beautiful than what you left behind. So be patient with yourself, be patient with God, and be patient with the process. The love He is sending isn't just coming to make you feel loved, it's coming to show the world what love looks like when God is at the center. You have been walking through preparation, not punishment. You've been growing, healing, and learning to trust in the unseen. And through it all, God has been weaving something sacred, something intentional, something beautifully beyond your understanding. Type 1010 if you know your heart is in God's hands. The person He's bringing into your life will carry the same reverence for this journey. They will not come rushing into your world to fill a space, they will come quietly, lovingly, respectfully, because they've also been walking their own road with God. They've been learning to be whole, not just available. They've been surrendering their own fears, doubts, and timelines. And just like you, they've trusted God for a connection that's deeper than appearances and stronger than emotion. When the time comes, your souls will recognize each other not by chance, not by surface attraction, but by the peace that settles in your spirit. You'll notice how their presence doesn't overwhelm you, but gently steadies you. They won't demand to be the center of your world because they'll see that God already holds that place. Instead, they'll want to walk beside you, not ahead, not behind, but beside with humility and love. This kind of love won't come to save you because you are not someone who needs saving. You are someone who has already been redeemed by the grace of Christ. You are not waiting to be rescued. You are waiting to be joined in purpose. This love will reflect your faith, not compete with it. It will honor your boundaries, not test them. It will speak life, not pressure. It will bloom slowly, deeply, and intentionally, in a way that glorifies God and blesses both of your lives. Type 999 if you're trusting God with your future. You see, love without God at the center may start quickly, but it rarely lasts. Feelings change, words can fade, but love that is built on spiritual foundation stands tall through every storm. That's the kind of relationship God wants for you. One where prayer is your first response, not your last resort. One where both hearts are anchored in truth, not tossed by emotion. One where God is not a topic you occasionally mention, but the guiding light that defines your choices, your future, and your faith together. The one who's coming will not be intimidated by your strength. They'll be drawn to it because they'll recognize that it was formed through fire. They will understand that you didn't become who you are overnight. They'll see the beauty in your journey, the moments that shaped you, the lessons that refined you, and the grace that kept you. And instead of asking you to forget those things, they'll love you more because of them. They won't just want to know the highlight reel of your life. They'll want to sit with you in the silence, listen to the hard parts, and hold space for your truth. They won't always have the right words, but they'll show up with presence, patience, and prayer. Because their love won't come from impulse, it will come from intimacy with God. And from that place, they'll know how to love you with care. And in return, you'll love them with a heart that's been prepared. You won't need to hide your fears or shrink yourself to be loved. You'll love them not from emptiness, but from overflow, because you've learned how to let God fill you first. And that's the most powerful kind of love, two whole hearts, walking together, seeking God first, and loving one another without fear. This love will be tested, yes, but it will stand. There will be disagreements, because you are human. But even in those moments, grace will speak louder than pride. Forgiveness will come quickly, because you both know that love is more important than being right, and instead of walking away, you'll draw closer. Because real love doesn't give up, it presses in, prays through, and holds on. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. You'll build a life not based on what looks perfect to others, but on what feels peaceful to you. You'll create a home that's filled with laughter, honesty, and warmth. Not because it's always easy, but because you've both chosen each other fully, every single day. You'll learn each other's hearts, speak each other's love languages, and protect each other's peace. You'll pray over meals, over dreams, over each other's weariness. You'll sit in the presence of God together, hands held, hearts open. You'll trust Him in the unknown and praise Him in the breakthrough. And even on the days when faith feels hard to hold, you'll remind each other of what's true, because that's what love from God does. It carries, it covers, it continues. Let this be your reminder. God hasn't forgotten your heart. He hasn't ignored your prayers, and He's not late. While the world runs after love with desperation, God is asking you to trust in His timing. Because the love He gives is worth the wait. It's not rushed. It's not random. It's refined by time, prayer, and the hand of the Creator. The person He is preparing for you will come when you are both ready to see love not just as a feeling, but as a calling. Not just as romance, but as a responsibility. And not just as a dream, but as a gift, one you hold with care, protect with faith, and grow with grace. So rest, breathe, trust. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are being guided day by day toward a love that has God written all over it. You are not unheard. You are deeply known and completely loved. The love you've been praying for, the connection that echoes God's peace, the person who fits the quiet spaces of your soul, that is not just a hope in your heart, that is a promise in His hands. Type 2222. If you believe what God has started, He will finish. This is not just about meeting someone. This is about divine timing, divine connection, and divine purpose. It's not about fantasy, perfection, or meeting someone to fix you. You are not broken. You are becoming. And God is not sending someone to complete you. He is sending someone to walk with you. Someone who knows how to love from the Spirit, not just from emotion. Someone who listens, not just with ears, but with their heart. Someone who prays when things are uncertain and praises when things are good. Someone who loves God more than they love you, because only then can they love you the way you were meant to be loved. This person is not just part of your story, they are part of your calling. Your union will not be ordinary, it will be covered in purpose. Your love will not only bless you, but others. People will look at you together and see peace. They'll see joy that isn't forced. They'll see the kind of strength that only comes from standing together in faith. and you won't have to prove anything to anyone. You'll just walk in grace, and your story will speak for itself. They'll come to you not in chaos, but in clarity, not in noise, but in stillness. They won't come with words that confuse you or actions that contradict their intent. They will come with gentleness, patience, and truth. You won't have to wonder what they feel. You won't have to chase their effort or beg for consistency. Their love will be quiet and steady, rooted in God, and shown in how they stay, how they speak, and how they walk with you daily.